Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. It's the most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination perspective will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 18th of August. The first news that is with regards to the credit guarantee plan expanded to aid hospitality sector. We'll see the detail about this. Second, center restored farm loan interest subsidy amid the rise of the rates by the RBI. The government has come up with the interest subsidy. Third, that is the fourth advanced estimate of production on agriculture crop. Yesterday, it was released by the central government. Other news, India, China to participate in Russia military drill. And the last is an editorial that is data opportunity at G20. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions and these questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And before that, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press the like button. So starting with session, the first news that is credit guarantee plan expanded to aid the hospitality sector. This is relevant for General Studies paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. So the Union Cabinet, which was chaired by the Prime Minister, has recently approved a proposals to enhance the limit of ECLGS by 50,000 crore rupees. The government ने बढ़ाई है और ये जो total ECL जब से ये स्कीम आ रही है basically during the COVID-19 post COVID recovery के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने इस तरह की इमरजेंसी क्रेडिट लाइन गारंटी स्कीम लेकर गई थी and this amount has reached up to 5 lakh crore rupees. अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में क्रेडिट लाइन गारंटी स्कीम्स दी गई हैं गवर्नमेंट के थ्रू and the total value across all the scheme is sum ups to 5 lakh crore rupees. और कल जो allocations दी गई है वो specifically dedicated है hospitality sectors के लिए. This is 50,000 crore rupees, right? So the additional amount will be marked exclusively for the enterprises in the hospitality, travel sector and the tourism sector. So the 50,000 crore rupees that has been allocated, this is specifically for this sector, right? And the total value under the ECLGS has reached up to 5 lakh crore rupees. I think these are clear to you. Now the overall ECGS allotment has been hiked from 4.5 earlier. Before these allocations जो number थी वो 4.5 lakh crore rupees की थी और 50,000 crore rupees देने के बाद this has reached up to 5 lakh crore rupees in total for different sectors. Now, what is the rationale behind this decision by the government? So the increase has been done on the account of several disruptions that was caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen the hospitality and related sector was not performing well and these sectors were the most deteriorated sectors. अगर बात करें ECLGS scheme की, this has been a continuous scheme where government is trying to revive the sectors and an additional amount of 50,000 crore rupees is specifically dedicated to the hospitality sector would make it applicable to the enterprises in hospitality and related sector that is valid for the scheme, which is like till March 31st, 2023. Now, the enhancement is expected to provide much needed relief to the enterprises and these sector will be incentivizing by lending institutions to provide additional credit of 50,000 crore rupees at a low cost. So, जो भी ऐसे institutions हैं जो credit लेना चाहते हैं वो एक marginal rate पे afford कर पाएंगे. Now, this will enable the business enterprises to meet their operational liabilities and continue with their businesses. So this is again an important decision at right time. Although this must have been taken before, but it's never the late. अभी जो गवर्नमेंट ने डिसाइड की है ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा इस सेक्टर को इम्पैक्ट करेगी to get a revival status, right? Now, what was the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic? As I have told you before also, pandemic की वजह से जो sectors थे काफ़ी ज़्यादा deteriorate हुए. So the ongoing pandemic has adversely impacted the contact intensive sector, especially the hospitality and related sectors, right? while the other sectors were back on the fast track. Recovery की अगर बात करें, demand has continued, like manufacturing and many other sectors. There were the need for the suitable intervention at their sustenance and recovery. Now, further, the high employment intensity and their direct indirect linkages with the other sector, their revival is also necessary for supporting the overall economic recovery. So pandemic has basically deteriorated the overall performance of the sector. Only was the agriculture sector that has performed in positive, right? And that too with very marginal number. Now the other news, that is center restore farm roll subsidy, interest subsidy. This is relevant for general studies paper 2. Precisely paper 3 में आप इसको count करें. That is issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies, minimum support price and public distribution system. So in effort to boost the farm sector, the Union Cabinet has recently approved the restoring of interest subventions, right, for a short-term agriculture loan by all the financial institutions. Again, a big decision taken by the Government of India, and Center has approved 1.5% of the interest subvention. तो 1.5% तक की जो इंटरेस्ट है वो कम की गई है फॉर द शॉर्ट टर्म लोन ऑफ अप टू 3 लाख रुपीज. दिस वैल्यू इज अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट. इवन दिस कैन बी रेलेवेंट फॉर द प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन और मेनी अदर गवर्नमेंट एग्जामिनेशन, राइट. सो दे विल बी प्रोवाइडिंग द लेंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशनल, और ये जो टाइम टेनर दी गई है बैंकों या फिर फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस को, दिस विल बी वैलिड टिल 2022-23 to 2025. Now, what is the advantages of this kind of decision? The increase in the interest subvention would ensure, first, it will call for the sustainability of the credit flow in the agriculture sector. जो agriculture sectors में credit flow की problems थी, वो अब बहुत ज़्यादा basically sustainable होंगी, and even the people will be able to afford this. Improving the financial health and viability of the lending institution, because the lending institution was also worried to lend because of the financial health that were creating the problem of viability. So this is again shorted out. Ensuring the adequate agriculture credit in the rural economy. Rural economy में भी इससे काफ़ी ज़्यादा मदद मिलेगी. Now, what are the other government measures that was there in line? So the government support the banks for the interest subvention, which was stopped in May 2020. Government ने इसको stop किया था, as lenders were themselves able to provide a short-term agriculture loans at 7%, right? And hence the Reserve Bank of India ने भी recently जिस तरह से repo rate में changes किए हैं, rate increase किए हैं by 140 basic points. We have seen the consecutive changes which was made, and this was a third changes which was made by the RBI consecutively, right? So due to this, it was necessary for the government to basically come with the subvention, और गवर्नमेंट ने इस बार 1.5% की इंटरेस्ट सबवेंशंस दी है फार्मर्स को. Now, fertilizer subsidy is also aligned. So the Union Budget 2022 and 23, that is the current budget, the fertilizer subsidy was estimated at 1.05 lakh crore rupees, and the subsidy was 1.62 lakh crore rupees in the last financial year. Now, one interest subvention scheme, the official statement said that the government support and ensure the sustainability of the credit flow in the agriculture sector, as well as the ensure financial health and viability of the lending institution, especially in the regional rural bank या फिर cooperative banks. जो RRBs होंगे, especially the RRBs or the cooperative banks, they will be having the viability to give the loan or lend the customers. Now but the government has not let the fertilizers prices despite increase in the global price. Amid the Ukraine and Russia's war, जो fertilizers की prices है वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा high हुई है, but government ने यहाँ पे prices को rise नहीं किया. Now, the fertilizer subsidy is currently at the fiscal year is likely to be more than 2 lakh crore rupees. Now, employment generation is a big issue. See how it is going to help the employment generation also. The Union Cabinet on restoring the farm loan interest subsidy will lead to the generation of employment, since a short-term agriculture loans are provided, including the animal husbandries, dairy, poultry and fisheries sector. तो जो small और marginal sectors के लोग हैं, खास करके जो animal husbandry, dairies और poultry fisheries में काम करते हैं, उन लोगों को भी इसका खासा benefit मिलेगा. They'll be getting an amount at a interest subvention rate. The government has also introduced the interest subvention scheme, that is also known as ISS. ISS scheme लेकर के government आई थी, which was modified as a modified interest subvention scheme to provide a short-term credit to the farmer at the subsidized interest rate. Moving to the other news, that is fourth advanced estimate of production on agriculture crop. This is relevant for General Studies paper 3 under the topic Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth and development. So recently the Union Agriculture Ministry has released the fourth advanced estimate of production on agriculture crop. This is for the year 2021 and 22. And the ministry has said that the production of food grain in the country is estimated at 315.72 million tons, which is higher by 4.98 million ton compared to the last year. And as per the government release, the productions during 2021-2022 is higher by 25 million ton than the previous 5 years, and an average productions of the food grain. Although it was being long debated that how the farmers are going to generate the revenue and how they can increase their income. So definitely these productions are going to help the farmers' income also and increase the numbers also. Now, these are record productions that was made. So the Minister for Union Agriculture and Farm Welfare has said that the record productions of so many crops is a result of farm-friendly policy by the center and the hard work of the farmers and the diligence of the scientists. So these three stakeholders play an important role in the overall productions. The record production is essential for the rice, maize, gram, pulses, rapeseeds, mustard, oilseeds, and sugarcane. So these are some of the agriculture products that the many crops that are evolved and that are helping in the record productions. और ये कुछ ऐसी ज़रूरतमंद चीज़ें हैं जिसकी productions हमारे इंडिया में काफ़ी ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. Now, wheat and rice output की अगर बात करें, while the estimated food grain productions is 31572 million tons, right, and it is expected that rice is around 130.29 million. Wheat productions has touched 1068 million ton. For the coarse grain, it is 50.90 million tons. And the total rice producing for 21-22 is estimated to be 130 million ton, right? And the higher is higher by 13.585, that is million ton, in the last 5 year average of the productions, that is 116. This numbers might not be relevant for you, but you need to know the trend actually whether it is on an increasing trend or on a decreasing trend. Moving to the other news, that is India-China troops to participate in Russia's military drill, something relevant for General Studies paper 2, that is effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries on India's interest and India's diaspora. So India and China troops are set to take part in the military drill, which is going to be organized by Russia. So this is again an important point where these two countries would be meeting, right? Person, the militaries. And this is a major war games that is hosted by Russia since the invasions of the Ukraine in 2020. Basically February 2022 में इसी ईयर इन्वेड की गई, उसके बाद ये पहली इस तरह की मिलिट्री ड्रिल और एक्सरसाइज की जा रही है. Recently, the China Defense Minister in a statement announced that participations of the People Liberation Army, जिसको PLA troops भी कहते हैं, is aiding with other countries which include India, Belarus, Tajikistan, and Mongolia. So these are the 4 participant countries. Make sure you remember the name, right? And India has also indicated its participation in the military. Now about the military exercises, according to the Russia's defense minister, it will be held from August 30 to September 5 in 13 training grounds in Russia's eastern military district. And maneuvers would also be included like airborne troops, long-range bombers, and military cargo aircraft. And it remains clear that India and Chinese troops will present together, because ये देखना अहम होगा जिस तरह से इंडिया और चाइना के बीच में ईस्टर्न लद्दाख रीजन में जो डिस्कलेशंस हुई, विल डिस्कस दैट ऑन द लेटर पार्ट ऑफ द वीडियो. तो उसके मद्देनजर क्या दोनों कंट्री एक साथ प्रेजेंट होंगी और दे विल टेक पार्ट इन द डिफरेंट ड्रिल स्प्रेड ओवर द 13 ट्रेनिंग ग्राउंड्स. ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ एक ही ड्रिल है, द टोटल 13 नंबर ऑफ ड्रिल. सो वेदर इंडिया और चाइना विल पार्टिसिपेट टुगेदर और दे विल पार्टिसिपेट separately. Now, deepening cooperation is again a point. The Chinese Defense Ministry statement noted that the exercise will and relate the current international regional situations aimed at deepening and pragmatic friendly cooperations between Russia and many other countries. And even for India, it's a concern that India remained in the standoff situations में है इंडिया भी जो लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल है इन द एलएसी लाइक ईस्टर्न लद्दाख के रीजन में. So this is again the transgression is there, and even for all the talks that we had with China, since start अगर खास करके बात करें कोई conclusive results की we have not got it yet, right? The process is on very soon. The de-escalation process is also started, but जितनी इंडिया की जिस डिमांड है वो पूरी अभी तक नहीं हुई. Now, data opportunity at G20, something relevant for General Studies Paper 2, that is bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India's and affecting India's interest. So, what I'll be discussing in this editorial, there are 4 important subheads, which I'll be simplifying with this editorial. That is the primary and security concern, creation of a single market, India's role to negotiate in G20, and the data sovereignty. And the entire editorial focuses upon a theme that is called data law and the sovereignty, right? So with the global politics of the data that is rapidly evolving, कुछ important economics की अगर बात करें जो digital economies के तौर पे काफ़ी अहम मानी जाती हैं, which include the European Union, right? South Africa, India, Indonesia, and US, they strive to protect and monetize and leverage the data that is collected within their territory for the domestic purposes, right? So the age of borderless data with limited or no government control, once our aspirations appears to be left behind. Now, privacy and security concern with regards to data is very important. So increasing privacy and security concern has been coupled with the economic interest, right? And they have the government to institute the rules to standardize the overall process of the cross-border flows and the natural implications of the negotiation taking place with regards to the global trade and commerce. Now, indeed, there's a sheer amount of data that is being generated and shared globally as necessitated government to exert more control over the use, sharing of the cross-border data. According to the Information Technology Innovation Foundation, जो data localizations है, that have been doubled from 2017 to 21, indicated that states needs to want increase the regular control over the data. तो जो government है वो हमेशा से ही data को control and even protect करना चाहिए. Creation of single data market. This has been something that has been on demand. So the data regulations efforts translocated the data localizations, and the US administration has recently issued an executive order where they will be promoting the competitions among the American economy. Well, it will push for the antitrust policies which meet challenges posed for the rise of dominant platform in the surveillance, right? So it is important that देगा जो data की regulations है or even for the data localization, the administration even for the US has to take into the consideration. The European Union policies have introduced the bevy of digital rules that plays an individual role at the center stage and enhancing the data security. Now, through the proposed Data Act, European Union to have become an unparalleled data pass, creating a single data market, setting up of the robust standard, deploying the EU collective data of their own use. तो कुछ यूरोपियन यूनियन कंट्रीज हैं उन्होंने अपनी एक स्टैंडर्ड बनाई है कैसे वो सिंगल मार्केट फॉर डेटा क्रिएट करेंगे और जो कलेक्टिव डेटा है वो अपने डोमेस्टिक पर्पसेस के लिए कैसे यूज करेंगे. Now, India's role in the G20, basically India is going to be heading the presidency of G20 from 1st of December 2022 till 30th of November 23. सो G20 में ये काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेटफॉर्म होगी इंडिया के लिए जहाँ पे डेटा के जैसे इशूज़ पे बात की जा सकती है. तो डिस्कस द डेटा, particularly the sharing of data and transfer seem converging position at the data governance. So आप मेंस में एक डेटा गवर्नेंस पे क्वेश्चंस भी एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, right? And maintaining the economy and the stage, right? And greater role in the regulating of data. So G20 track record as an apex forum will discuss these issues definitely. And the digital economy will make the appropriate forum to discuss the data. अगर G20 की बात करें the G20 negotiation is not binding, right? It's not binding, but it serves as a platform where it aims to catalyze and inject the new thinking around the critical current issue. तो current issue यहाँ पे बात हो रही है डेटा प्राइवेसी को लेकर के, डेटा गवर्नेंस को लेकर के. Now, data sovereignty is again a big issue. So, India was a way ahead of data sovereignty curve, banishing to the domestic policy making. And since 2017, India has attempted to incubate the data governance, चाहे वो नॉन पर्सनल डेटा हो, ई कॉमर्स रेगुलेशंस हो, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हो. इंडिया हैज हार्नेस द part of India's data development process. And recently, government has withdrawn the personal data protection bill because of some of the recommendations that was given by the parliamentary standing committee, और government ने इसे आगे बढ़ना मुनासिब नहीं समझा है. So the reason being, the progress was not made, and even including the expert civil society industries actively engaging in attempting the overall digital policy making. Let's see, government will definitely revamp the overall loopholes that were there in the personal data protection bill and will come up with a revamped version of this bill, right? So if it is being asked with regard to data sovereignty, data privacy, you got an ample content that you can write in the examination. Now moving with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question also, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice, आपको बताना है नेशनल मॉनसून मिशन के बारे में. It was launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It aims to develop state-of-art technology, dynamic monsoon prediction system, short range, medium or forecast, right? So do check it out for the correct option. Which among the following is the correct one that you have to check. Second question of the day, Amal Hope has been recently conducted by which among the following countries? Iran, UAE, Pakistan or Sri Lanka. So this type of question is again going to be relevant for many other government examination as well. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.